There is a phrase that has echoed through the awakening community for generations. 3 days of darkness. For some, the words stir curiosity. For others, an old and quiet unease. And for a rare few, perhaps for you, the words stir something entirely different. A strange, unexplainable calm. A feeling not of fear, but of recognition. As if some deep part of you has always known that before the greatest dawn, there comes the deepest night. If you have ever felt that quiet recognition, this message is for you. But before we walk this path together, let us set down every burden of fear at the door. Because here is what this video is not. It is not a prediction. It is not a date. It is not a warning to stockpile candles or hide away. Anyone who tells you the day and the hour is not speaking from light, because in every wisdom tradition on earth, the deepest transitions of the soul have never obeyed calendars. Within the awakening community, many have come to understand the 3 days of darkness not as an event to fear, but as a symbol, perhaps the most powerful symbol we have, of the great turning point of consciousness. The moment when the old world within us fully dissolves, so the new one can be born. The cocoon before the butterfly. The silent, starless night that every caterpillar must trust. And here is the question that matters far more than when. If such a turning point is unfolding slowly, invisibly, within humanity itself, what would the most awakened souls feel first? Because transitions of the soul do not arrive unannounced. Just as birds sense the changing season long before the first snowfall, sensitive souls have always sensed the turning of great inner tides long before others speak of them. So tonight, we explore 5 things that many in the awakening community believe the awakened ones feel first, before any great darkness, before any great dawn. As you listen, do not ask, "Is this proof?" Ask instead the question your soul came here to answer, "Is this me?" The first feeling, a deep detachment from the old world. It often begins so quietly that you don't notice it happening. The news that once gripped you loses its grip. The arguments that once pulled you in feel strangely distant, like voices from a room you've already left. Ambitions you chased for decades, status, approval, more, begin to feel like clothes that no longer fit. You still live in the world. You still love the people in it. But some essential part of you has quietly stepped back, the way a traveler steps back from a house they are preparing to leave, not with bitterness, but with a soft, grateful farewell. Many believe this detachment is the first sign of a soul preparing for profound transition. Before any symbolic darkness, before the old world within us goes quiet, the awakened ones begin releasing their grip on what is passing away. Not because they have given up on life, but because they are making room for what is coming. If you have felt this, if the noise of the world has grown strangely thin while your inner life has grown strangely rich, many would say you are not withdrawing, you are ripening. The second feeling, the great fatigue of the threshold. We have spoken before of the deep tiredness sweeping through sensitive souls. But those who study the symbolism of the 3 days speak of something more specific. They call it threshold fatigue. It is the exhaustion of standing between two worlds. Part of you still operates in the old world, working, providing, functioning. And part of you, they say, is already living in the new, holding a higher frequency, processing enormous inner change, doing invisible work in dreams and in silence. You are, in a sense, a bridge. And bridges bear weight from both sides. So if you wake up tired despite a full night's sleep, if rest doesn't seem to reach the deepest layer of your weariness, be gentle with yourself. And of course, dear one, honor your body first. If fatigue persists, let a good doctor rule out the needs of the physical vessel, for caring for your health is a sacred act, never a spiritual failure. But if all is well, and the tiredness remains mysterious, Consider the possibility that many awakened souls have embraced. You are tired because you are carrying something. And what you are carrying is light across a threshold for more people than you will ever know. The third feeling, the return of ancient memory. This one arrives in flashes, and it is unmistakable to those who experience it. A dream so vivid it feels more real than waking life. A sudden knowing while watching a sunset, gone before you can put it into words. Deja vu that arrives not as a trick of the mind, but as a wave of homesickness. Some describe standing under the night sky and feeling, for 3 heartbeats, that they remember why they came, remember what they promised, remember that none of this was ever random. Many in the awakening community believe that as humanity approaches its great turning point, the veil of forgetting grows thin for those who came here on purpose. The awakened ones, they say, begin to remember first, in fragments, in feelings, in tears that come from nowhere and mean everything. You may not be able to explain what you remember. That is all right. The remembering is not for the mind. It is for the heart, a rope of light laid down in advance, so that when any night comes, symbolic or otherwise, your hands already know what to hold. The fourth feeling, an unshakable calm beneath the fear. Now we come to the most mysterious feeling of all, the one that separates those who merely hear about the 3 days of darkness from those who understand it. It is possible to feel fear on the surface and peace underneath. Perhaps you know exactly what this means. The world speaks of crisis, and your human mind flutters with worry, yet beneath it, in the deep water of your being, something remains utterly still and almost expected. Like the calm of a farmer watching storm clouds, not because he loves the storm, but because he knows what rain means for the seeds he planted long ago. Many believe this deep calm is the signature of the awakened soul before any great transition. It is not denial. It is not numbness. It is knowing, the soul's quiet certainty that darkness, wherever it appears in the story of humanity, is never the ending. It is the turning of the page. Every tradition has whispered this. The night is darkest just before the dawn. The seed must sit in dark soil before it rises. The caterpillar dissolves completely inside the cocoon, completely before the butterfly forms. If you had never seen it happen, you would call the cocoon a tragedy. But nature knows better. And so, many believe, do you, that calm beneath your fear. Trust it. It may be the oldest and wisest part of you, the part that read the whole story before agreeing to live it. The fifth feeling, the irresistible urge to become light for others. And here is the final feeling, the one that many say marks the truly awakened above all others. As the symbolic night approaches, as old structures wobble and the world grows anxious, something unexpected awakens in certain souls. Not the urge to hide, not the urge to save only themselves, the urge to shine. Suddenly you find yourself being the calm one in the anxious room, the one who listens, the one strangers inexplicably open up to in checkout lines, the one your family calls, even the ones who mock your spiritual path, when their world shakes and they need someone whose light doesn't flicker. Many believe this is no accident. They say the awakened ones feel the approach of humanity's great transition first for one reason, so they can become lampposts before the night. Every candle is lit before darkness falls, not after. And you, dear one, with every fear you have faced, every shadow you have walked through and survived, you have been becoming flame-proof your entire life. You see it now? The detachment, the fatigue, the memories, the deep calm, they were never symptoms of something wrong with you. Many would say they are the 5 preparations. The soul's quiet packing for its most important assignment, to be light, in whatever darkness ever comes, outer or inner, collective or personal, symbolic or real. So what should you do? Here is the beautiful answer. Nothing driven by fear. Nothing at all. You do not need to stockpile. You do not need to watch the skies with anxiety or count down to dates that no one honestly knows. If the 3 days of darkness are, as many believe, primarily a mirror of the soul's own passage, from the old self to the new, then the only preparation that has ever mattered is the preparation of the heart. So tend your inner flame. Sit in stillness a few minutes each day. Forgive an old wound, not for them, for you. Speak gently to yourself in the mirror. Keep a little more peace in your home, a little more patience in your voice, a little more light in your window for whoever passes by. And if a difficult night ever comes to your life, as difficult nights come to every human life, you will not meet it empty-handed. You will meet it as the awakened have always met the dark, with a lamp already burning. Because here is the secret the fearful versions of this story always miss. The 3 days of darkness were never really about darkness. In every telling, in every tradition, in every whispered version across the generations, the darkness ends. It always ends. The story was always about what comes after. The dawn, the new earth. The morning when humanity opens its eyes and remembers, all at once, what you, the sensitive ones, the tired ones, the awakened ones, have quietly known all along. That love was always the ending. If this message brought you peace instead of fear, share in the comments which of the 5 feelings you recognized in yourself. Your words may steady another soul tonight. Subscribe and turn on notifications so the next transmission finds you. Until then, keep your lamp lit, dear one. Not because the night is coming, but because you were born to shine, and somewhere out there, someone is finding their way home by your light.